continuing my morning car chat. This morning I'm starting a little earlier because I have things to do when I get to school, preparing for my day. So this road is a little bumpy and I'm just driving along a country road right now. And the weather is pretty decent. It's a little chilly today. It is 38 degrees right now where I am. The sun is shining. The sky is blue. Ever since election day, the weather has been great. So that's a good thing. All of the candidates are going around picking up signs. I have been working pretty much. I had all day Tuesday. I had the election, obviously, from 7 a.m. to I ended up leaving around 10 p.m. The previous primary, I stayed till midnight because that was really touchy. You know, I didn't know for sure how that was going to go. So I stayed until the actual numbers were called, and I think I won by like 25 votes from the person below me, but the three of us on the slate won together, so that's really cool. And then this past Tuesday, I could tell by the machine tapes that we had a far enough lead that any of the last hand counted ballots were going to be, I was going to be fine. So we won that. So then Wednesday night I had school board meeting, and school board meetings start at 6 p.m. and I think I got home around 9 or 9:30 or so. So that was one of the shorter ones, actually. The school board meetings go until 10 o'clock sometimes, and we have a rule. I'm not sure if it's like a law or what. I'm going to ask that, but it's always been a rule since I got on the board. If it gets close to 10 o'clock, we're not done yet, we take a vote with the 5 board members, and if one of the board members says, no, I don't want to stay, then we don't stay. But most of the time it's been we stay and then it's a few extra minutes and we're done. But I thought that was kind of cool. Like, there is a respect there that if one person is really, can't stay any longer, then that's the rule. You don't stay. So that's not a majority vote. That's just if one person. So if we're at a meeting, we either try to hurry up and be done before 10 o'clock or, quarter to 10 or 10 till 10, we'll take a little vote. We'll be like, I think it's only going to be a few more minutes, and then we'll just carry on the rest of the meeting. So that was Wednesday night. Then Thursday night, I went to visit my mom. So that's this age, your kids are growing up. They're going out on their own. You could scroll on, Timothy. So this is kind of the age where, you're glad that the kids are older. They're doing their own thing. Everybody's working. They have, the kids taken care of for the most part. And then you find yourself like, what am I going to do? And then you put yourself into your work, and then you realize, oh yeah, my parents need me. So that's what comes up. And so, so I'm kind of doing all the things, and it's a different type of life for me because I do have lots of kids. So I've been home with them for many years, and now I'm doing new and different things. So I'm going to just talk today about the boards in your town. If you live in a state where you have local government, in our town we have school boards, we have selectmen. We don't have a mayor of our town. We have a selectmen board, 5 people. We also have a town manager. The town manager works for the board. So the town manager has a list of work that he does, but he has to always keep the board updated, and some things they have to vote on, a lot of things they have to sign and give authority to be doing certain things. So that's how our town is run. So the 5 board members are voted on by the townspeople, and we vote in March. We also have planning board, zoning board, ethics committee, and some other boards. We just started a cemetery board to take care of all of the cemeteries, because that was kind of falling by the wayside, trying to keep track of that with the Board of Selectmen. And we have a conservation committee and maybe a few more things. So there's lots of things that people in the town can do to step up as a community member. And you can go to the board meetings and you can be informed. You can also join in public comment, like say you don't want to be on a board, but you just want to participate by giving your opinion on something. We also have all of the board meetings on our local cable station. So that's important too. You could, sit home and just watch on your local cable station, so you know who the board members are, what they're talking about, what's going on in town. And you can see, instead of seeing what the vote was and assuming the worst, you can see what the conversation was about certain topics. In our town, we've had a problem with getting roads fixed, which I think is a problem in a lot of towns. We've had a problem with our wells. Our town is very countryish, but we have an infrastructure with 3 wells. And then many of us that live on the outskirts of town have personal wells and our own septic systems. So, but people that live in the closer to the town, they have, they work off of the wells at like the stores in the middle of town and all that stuff. And right now it's budget season, so I don't know. I'm going to get on the Facebook groups, and I'm going to try to encourage people to go to the budget discussions, because we all want taxes to go down. But when you look at the budget and you realize that you're trying to cut the budget as much as you can, it's a little easier to understand why we can't cut the budget. Especially, one thing is salaries and benefits. Our town offers pretty good pay rates and also health benefits, as well as retirement. So it's a pretty good job for job security. So it just kind of gives you more respect for the whole process when you see it yourself. We also have our library. The library is a whole nother kettle of fish. It's really interesting. The library has its own rules, it's like its own entity. It's sort of not even really governed by anyone in the town. It's governed by the 3 trustees who are voted on by the people. So that's very interesting. And the 3 trustees are the ones who install the director of the library. The director of the library does everything inside the library. They're supposed to go with the direction of the trustees, but they can direct that library as they see fit. Our library is also a Carnegie library, which is very interesting as well. Dale Carnegie, years ago, I'm not sure, I think it's like 1908 or something like that, that the libraries across the nation and the world, a few across the world, were given money to invest in the start of libraries. And this was very helpful because in those days, not as many people had books like we do now. And and they had to promise they would keep the library going one way or the other. So our library was given, it's been a while since I've looked up these statistics. I think it was like $2,000, which was probably the lower end of the amount of money that was given to different types of libraries across the country. But it was significant because we got some, and we have a really tiny town, and it was a lot smaller back then. So we have a Carnegie library, so we have to keep it going. Our library is also inside of a historic building. So the building itself is maintained by the town. So that's interesting too, because the town pays for the maintenance and the upkeep, and we can't change anything on the outside because it's historic. So it's a very interesting study, and some of us as parents realized there were some things going on at the library we didn't agree with. So we started going to the library trustee meetings. The library trustee meetings were being held at 4 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon, or maybe it was 3:30. Now it's 4 o'clock. And so it was hard to get to. We would have to go like in the summer, maybe leave early for work. If it was, for me, I'm a teacher, so I would have to rush home from school, try to make it to the meeting. But now I am a trustee, so I went from parent asking questions to, I helped my friend last year, kind of a year and a half ago, March. We did a campaign for her, and she actually won, but she had some health issues, so she couldn't take the position. So the library was without a third trustee for a little while, and then I campaigned to the Board of Selectmen, and they voted for me for trustee until the next election. So last March, I had to run again from scratch, and I was elected again by the people. So that was very exciting for me. And so I'm on the trustee board. There's 3 of us, and I have the videos. I can post below the videos if you're interested in our library trustee meetings. And we're learning some things about the American Library Association, about the library itself and the rules there. And there's actually some rules at the library that are not favorable for the parent-child relationship. That I'm not real happy about. But there's a law in New Hampshire that was passed at the State House that children have privacy rights at the library. So I feel like parents need to know about this until it gets changed back to what it should be. Parents need to know about this, because if your child goes to the library and your child is young, maybe your child's old enough to, browse the books on their own. You're upstairs talking to your friend, and the kid checks out a couple books. And a week goes by, the books get lost. You call up the library and say, hey, can you tell me the titles of the books that Johnny checked out last week? The library is going to say, I can't tell you that because they're on Johnny's card, and I can't tell you what Johnny has on Johnny's card. So the parent should know this ahead of time, and maybe you don't want to give Johnny his own card. Give him your card and tell him if he wants to check out a book, then he needs to use your card. Then when you call up the library, you can get the information. So as a parent and as a teacher and as an advocate for other people's parenthood, I think that parents should know about these laws, because they were pretty surprising to me when I asked all the questions. So anyway, we were talking about board and the library board, and the library is I think it's a great place for community members to meet up There are book clubs, a couple book clubs. We have a classic book club, which I really have enjoyed. We had a ukulele group come to the library that was really fun. We had a Civil War reenactment group come. Oh yeah, and the Eclipse guy. I put some videos up on this channel about different activities that we did at our library. And I think these are types of things that everyone can enjoy, no matter what your religious affiliation or your personal thoughts on maybe politics and social issues in our world right now. There are lots of things that we could talk about that aren't. Oh yeah, and the bee lady. We have a lady that lives in our town that raises bees. Plus she's a teacher. And she came and did a great presentation about bees. We also have library passes at our library. And I feel like we should promote all of those things and stop with the political agendas that are kind of overcoming our library. I have met people that are afraid to go to the library because they're afraid of being pushed by social agendas, and that is not okay. I understand that certain people want certain types of resources, but it shouldn't be to the extent where we're turning people away because they are afraid of being indoctrinated in some way. So anyway, my story here was about the boards in our town and how you can get involved. And some people say that it doesn't work. You know, you go to the board, you tell them, you know, your opinion, and it doesn't work. But it's not just a one-time thing. And I've also told people in your town, you know, if your taxes are a burden to you, go to the boards and tell them, you know, the hardship in this, my neighbors and I are really struggling to pay these bills. Please keep the taxes down. Or you could go and talk about the Constitution, talk about a situation that you know of. Keep people informed about what's going on in town. Maybe you have an activity that's coming up and you want to share it with the townspeople. That's a good place to do it too. And we also have a local cable station, which that's a way of getting people informed in what's going on in town as well. And I guess I just feel like since I've gotten more involved in the community, I have enjoyed it. I've met people in my community that I can identify with, that I can relate to, that I've enjoyed being friends with, and I think that's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the way our government was set up. It wasn't set up that one person's in charge and everybody else stay home and, you know, do their own thing. Our government was set up to be by the people, for the people. Now, I understand that lots of people, you know, moms with little kids and things like that. I was dedicated to my family for many years, and I still am dedicated, but I don't have the little babies at home anymore. And I need to find things that give me fulfillment as well. So I'm sort of like taking a spot in this area because I know that some people can't. So I'm not saying everybody has to do something, but if you possibly can, do something. If you watch the library trustee meetings and something, you know, makes you think of an idea, write to the trustees. We had someone who wanted to get aquarium passes for the Boston Aquarium. I need to schedule a time to go there because I haven't gone there yet. It's very expensive to go, and so our library got a pass, which you can go and pay half price. and I really want to do that. So that was an idea from a patron that we want aquarium passes. We went around and we talked to like, I don't know, over 25 people to sign a petition that said we want an aquarium pass. So if nobody uses that pass this year, we probably won't buy it again. It's $700 and we want people to use it. So check out your library. Maybe your library has things that you can enjoy. And the thing is, what we learned was the things that you use will be renewed. Like, say people use the aquarium pass, we'll get that one again. If people check out good books, we keep them. The books that nobody checks out, we weed them out. We weed them out. So there's two terms. There's weeding, and there's, some people call it book banning, because, oh, I don't want that book. I don't think our library needs that book. That's called book banning. But if nobody reads it, and it's been on the shelf for, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years, then we weed it. So I think it's, I don't know, I think it's a little crazy. I think we should be able to choose what books we actually want in our library and not have to buy books that nobody in our community wants. And like I was telling a friend recently, I said, you know, if one person in my community wants a book that I know the rest of the community doesn't want, I'll just buy them that book and let them take it home, you know, instead of leaving it on my shelf. So I got into this situation because we were questioning a few books in the children's section of the library. And we were told we can't do that. We can't question. First of all, we can't question the director, because the director is the professional librarian. And we can't question the American Library Association, because they know what books we need. And I was told by the current director, who is still there, that she wants to bring equity to our library. And I told her, I said, you're just supposed to serve the community. You get the books that our community wants. You don't have to bring any more equity to our library than our town brings to itself. That's what the library is. We're not California. We're not Chicago. We are a small country town. It's like telling the Amish people, you know, you have to have these books at your library because the rest of the world does. They're not going to stand for that. So our community is a country town. We just had an election, and we went conservative from the top of the ballot to the bottom of the ballot. And our community as a majority is a conservative majority. And we will serve all patrons, but we don't have to have, you know, the extent of equity that some people might feel we need. So I can't really read the comments right now, unfortunately, because I am driving, but I can see there are some people watching. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you. And I'm just giving these morning videos, and my channel's been all about teaching and all about, I am a teacher, but I don't teach in the public school. I have homeschooled. Right now I teach at a Christian school, and I really love it. I have made choices, you know, for my own family, and I just still believe in them. But in the last several years, I have gotten more involved in my community, and I've really enjoyed the journey, and I've kind of kept it a little quiet for my channel. I do have some videos about when I advertised for school board, and I made a few videos about when I was campaigning to join the trustee board and stuff like that. And I just recently was elected as state representative in my town, and I made a few videos about that. And I figured, well, let's let the cat out of the bag and just talk about these things, because there might be people that are my age that are thinking, you know, now what do I do? And you could be very well used in your community, one way or the other, to make a difference. We see lots of mama bears, you know, defending their own children, and they have jobs, they have kids, they have all the things, and plus they have to save our country. I think that some of us older folks need to step in and help them out. Help them so that they have a better place to raise their family. And I'm kind of like thinking about my own children. They want lower gas prices. They want a simpler life. They have to work twice as hard just to make ends meet than I even did 25 years ago. And I lived on a low budget by choice, because I did go to college, but I chose to have a family, and I chose to be a stay-at-home mom. And I was willing to do without sometimes, because I felt like it was more important to be with my children. And it wasn't always all rainbows and roses, right? But I don't regret the good times that we have. And now that I'm older and my youngest is 16, I feel like the time flies like crazy. So now I feel like I still have some energy, can still do some things. And so this is a great opportunity to kind of inspire other people to maybe think outside the box. I just saw a video of a woman my age who quit her corporate job, and she's doing DoorDash and other jobs that she can do to work for herself, so she doesn't have to go to a 9-to-5 and be treated like a second-rate citizen and told, do this, you know, and it's exhausting. But she can make the same amount of money by doing these other types of jobs. So it's a consideration. I mean, there's a value in having a job that's been consistent if you've built up your retirement or pension or something like that. But there's also value in working for yourself, where you can make your own choices and if you're a hard worker, you can make it happen in this economy. But anyway, I'm going to sign off. It's been rambling on long enough. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. The sun is out, and it looks like it's going to be nice. It's 45 degrees in New Hampshire right now. It's supposed to be a little warmer, but I don't think it's going to be as warm as it was the last couple of days. But that's okay. I'll take it. It looks really nice. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.